Ruckus. Oh my God, what the hell is this? He's gonna try it. And will this be enough? My God, Hager takes it. 1, 2.
What's up, everyone? I still forget to hit that button, but we are back. Ruckus Wrastlin is back after a 2-week hiatus. Hope y'all had a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all the fun stuff. 2026 is here, and we've got wrestling in 2026. Justin, my tag team partner in this journey, is back as well. How we doing? How has it been?
I'm doing pretty good. I've missed doing this with you, so it's been a long holiday break, so looking forward to talking about wrestling again. Let's kick off 2026 here.
Yeah, me too. But wrestling did happen while we were on break. As far as WWE, not a whole lot, but we were expecting that kind of while we took the 2-week hiatus. Really, the only new stuff that happened was at World's End, the AEW event. Do you have the results real quick?
Yep.
I know you didn't do the recap, but just kind of go over the results real quick,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll kind of give our 2-second thoughts on that.
Got them right here.
All right.
So just a quick rundown of the match results. Going to skip the pre-show because it's not important.
Yeah.
So the show opened with the semifinals of the Continental Classic. Okada beat Takeshita thanks to finding a hidden screwdriver and blasting him in the head with it. And then in a really shocking upset, Moxley beat Kyle Fletcher in the other semifinal match by choking him into unconsciousness. So it was Moxley and Okada for the Continental title in the finals later in the show. FTR defeated the Bang Bang Gang, Juice Robinson, Austin Gunn in a Chicago street fight. The Babes of Wrath defeated the super team of Mercedes Moné and Athena to retain the women's tag team championship. Darby Allin defeated Gabe Kidd in a mixed nuts mayhem match, like a mixed tag. Thomas Tony Storm, Roderick Strong, Mark Briscoe, and Orange Cassidy beat the Death Riders. Claudio Garcia, Yuta, and Marina Shafir. Chris Statlander beat Jamie Hayter to remain AEW Women's Champion. And the even more shocking result, Moxley defeated Okada to become the Continental Champion and thus de-unifying the unified title. And so he's the Continental Champion, and Okada just has the International Championship. Too many belts. And the main event, the right result. MJF came back just before the pay-per-view. He cashed in his guaranteed title shot contract for winning the Casino Gauntlet match, and it paid off because he defeated Samoa Joe, Swerve, and Hangman Adam Page in a fatal 4-way match to win the AEW World Championship for a second time.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's the right result there. And then later, within the 2 weeks, he did reintroduce the Triple B as with the belt, which, you know, some people are happy about it. Some people, I don't know. It's MJF. He can do whatever the hell he wants because whatever he does is pretty much gold, except when he gets, except when they force a feud with Jeff Jarrett.
Right.
But other than that, Moxley's like weird face turn type of style is one thing. The Tony Storm, Orange Cassidy situation that's going on with them dancing and stuff like that. It depends. Like if that happened in WWE, people thought it would be hilarious. If it happened in AEW, people think it's crap. So there's an audience for that. I think it's too gimmicky to me, especially with how AEW wants to be presented. But it's Orange Cassidy, like, and Tony Storm, like that. They kind of are kind of over the top characters. Now, the whole thing with Marina Shafir and her husband, that was kind of a cool little back and forth. I did enjoy that. But, the Moxie puts on good matches, but it's AEW to put on good matches. But yeah, I mean, it was fine. I'm happy that MJF is the champion now. He's back to full form. But yeah, it was fine. It was fine. It wasn't something I was going to write home about.
Yeah.
It wasn't as good as the previous pay-per-view, but it was still fine.
Yeah, I mean, this ended up being a decent show. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't like a home run. It was a mixed bag of a show because there were some really great matches. The main event, MJF winning, that was the right call. It's a good thing that he's the championship again because now you got all these baby faces chasing him. And so you got a bunch of storylines you can work over the next couple months with him as champion. It's like Swerve and Hangman are hunting for him. Kenny Omega declared his intentions to come after him. He's going to be facing Brodito on Dynamite next week because Brodito won the Diamond Ring Battle Royal to earn the title shot. So that'll be a fun first title defense for him. Samoa Joe is apparently still in the mix as well. So you got a bunch of people gunning for him, so that's a good thing. Let's see, the other positives. I thought that both of the first two Continental semifinal matches were great.
Mm-hmm.
The Okada-Moxley match was okay. And the decision to have Moxley win is really bizarre because I don't see the point of him having the title. And, you de-unify the title, so now you have more titles again. It's like, and also the weird dynamic where like the fans have turned him babyface, but him and the Death Riders are still acting like heels.
Yeah.
So it's a bizarre disconnect, and it's still happening on the shows. It's like they like Moxley, and they're rooting for him. And he also got this like babyface promo, which is also even weird. So it's like it just didn't make any damn sense to me.
So he is the Finn Balor of the Death Riders, basically, because Finn is cutting babyface promos and shit now, but he's still with the Judgment Day. Like they're doing the same thing on WWE. Not when you're having like a Moxley. Like Finn Balor's different as far as where he is in the card, but they're doing the same thing with Finn right now.
Right. That just doesn't make any sense. But I mean, the street fight was fine. It's like you could tell the crowd wasn't into it because they knew that there's no way that FTR wasn't going to lose the titles.
Mercedes losing is doing. They're doing what we were hoping they would do, which is gradually and we'll get to it because they're continuing the same thing. And also her match with Athena. I don't think it was on this card. Was it on the previous week? Was her match Mercedes and Athena's match, or was it this week?
No, they didn't have a match. It's like her. I mean, the fallout from them losing the tag title match was Mercedes crashing out, and she actually gave Willow a title shot just so she could beat her ass, and it backfired because Willow beat her for the TBS title, ending her historic TBS title reign last week.
Yeah, and then Statlander coming
on the New Year's Eve Dynamite.
Yeah, that's what I was. Thank you. That's the 2 weeks for meshing my brain together. But
so the downward spiral and crash is in full effect at this point. Because now that she still has some of the titles she's won in the independent promotions, but she's lost the biggest one she has. She's lost the TBS championship. And cool for Willow. Willow's a double champion right now. Never thought I'd see that, but it's like between Statlander, Willow, and Harley, they have all the women's titles. The three of them.
Yeah.
The three of them. Right
hey
now.
Man, we've been wanting Willow to get that TNT title back for a while now. Anyway,
I'm glad that Willow's getting her due. I like that she's a double champ. I mean, her and Harley are a fun tag team. Statlander's had an okay reign so far. Like her match with Hayter was really good. It just sucks that the crowd was dead for most of that match. I think it was the fatigue of the show. It's like because they had a really damn good match.
We can't find the Goldilocks bowl of porridge. We can't find it in wrestling right now. We either have 4 matches and a shit ton of advertisements, or we have 3 million matches and they all go 45 minutes.
Yeah, you got the two extremes, and it's like the only one that comes close to giving us a proper amount of matches on a PLA is NXT right now, ironically.
And Evolution this past year.
Yeah, Evolution had like what 6-7 matches. It was perfect. It's like
and like each match was exactly timed the right way.
That's why Evolution was one of the best pay-per-views last year.
Yeah. 2025. I will say this after kind of reflecting on it. 2025 was women's wrestling. That's just what I would think.
Yeah.
Like, Evolution was great. The best cage match of them all was the women's Blood and Guts match. I mean, the women's division in NXT can speak for itself.
Right.
You have so many solid women's wrestling on both shows because they're finally highlighting them on both shows.
The year 2025 kicked off with the ending of the Toni Storm Mariah May feud and the Hollywood ending, which was awesome.
Yes.
You had the rise of Stephanie Vicker, Julia, and Roxanne in NXT, and then with them all going over up to the main roster. And despite the 3 of them leaving NXT, the NXT Women's Division continued to kick ass. We were shocked that JC Jane beat Stephanie for the title when she got called up. Didn't think she thought she was only going to be a transitional champion, and HBK proved us wrong. Actually ended up really impressing people, including myself, this past year. She briefly lost the title to Paxley, but she got it back. We'll talk about her title defense with Kendall Gray when we talk about New Year's Evil later in the show this week. But she was one of the surprises this year. She stepped up to the plate and really the solid worker.
Yeah, and the best wrestler of 2025 was Io.
Yeah, Io killed it. Delivered so many amazing matches. The triple threat with her, Rhea, and Bianca at Mania was one of the best matches of the year. One of the best Mania matches probably ever.
Evolution.
And then her and Rhea killed it again in Evolution.
Wow, that match was so good.
Yeah, and
with Naomi,
it was not ruined by the Naomi cash in at all. It actually,
if anything, it increased it.
Mm-hmm.
What happened? And the rise of Naomi.
Was great. Unfortunately, got cut short because she got pregnant. So hopefully she'll be able to pick up where she left off this year when she gets back from maternity leave. Yeah. And then Becky Lynch also fucking killing it as a heel this past year.
Her best run since the Man.
This is her best work since her rise as the Man, leading up to winning the main event at Mania, in 2019. And
we got AJ Lee back.
Yeah, we got AJ Lee back as well. The heel. This is the best heel work she's done.
Yes.
It's like it blows the previous big time Beck's attempt when she was feuding with Bianca a couple years ago when she came back from having her daughter out of the water. Not even close. And she not only elevated Lyra Valkyria, but she also somehow elevated Maxine Dupree and actually got the fans to care about both ladies with the feud she had with them, and also the side feud that she's still got going on with AJ Lee, which I suspect is going to get reignited now due to what happened on Monday Night Raw. That's a prediction for later this year. But yeah, 2025 was not overall a great year for wrestling. No. We'll be honest here. Both WWE and AEW really stunk up at the joint a lot with a lot of their creative decisions. We had one of the worst pay-per-view main events last year from AEW with Destiny with that Moxley Adam Copeland title match when Christian cashed in his gauntlet title shot. That was an absolute shit show. The John Cena heel turn was amazing. The execution of it was a complete failure, and thankfully they corrected it in time to salvage his retirement tour. with some banger matches to close things out.
And then you had the divisive tap out with Gunther.
Yeah, despite that, we already discussed that.
Yeah.
It's like just a lot of like lackluster effort from both of the major promotions this past year. I mean, we talked about the highlights, and there were highlights. We had some great matches. We had some great shows. Like, the Elimination Chamber and Evolution were the top 2 WWE shows last year for absolutely better than Mania. Mania was very lackluster and it let down from Mania 40. All in Texas was definitely AEW's best show, with Hangman finally ending the Moxley reign of terror.
That was probably the best weekend of wrestling because we had All In and Evolution the same weekend.
Exactly. Yeah, we had All In on Saturday, and then we had Evolution the next day. So yeah, it's like 2 of the best pay-per-views in the same weekend from both companies.
What match was the Kevin Owens Sami Zayn one? Street fight one on?
That was at Elimination Chamber.
That's what I say. I thought it was Elimination Chamber because
that whole card was a banger. Both Elimination Chamber matches were awesome. You had the unsanctioned match. It's like it, and then
the Jade Cargill return and
the Jade Cargill return. That whole show was just like bang, 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 awesome. It's like the only one that comes close is Evolution over. It's like as far as like quality.
Yeah, I think the issue was with both was like we were saying, like it's kind of the same thing with how the cards are on their pay-per-views. It's kind of the same way their bookings were. WWE played it safe.
Yep.
The whole time, didn't really take any risk, and AEW was overthinking every gosh damn thing they possibly could. So both companies either played it safe, overpriced their tickets, got a bunch of advertisements, just money, 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 because they're going to show up anyway.
Yep.
And just do minimal effort compared to what we know they can do because we've seen it. And then we have another company who is literally throwing darts of figuring out what works and what doesn't.
Yeah. So we're hoping that 2026 that both WWE and AEW will get back to better form. So fingers crossed.
Yeah.
It's like so yeah, that's so the MJF title win and then Mercedes losing, those are 2 biggest things that happened while we were gone, because otherwise WWE is in that lull leading up to the Rumble, and they had a lot of pre-tape shows for the holidays. They kind of started to get back, kick things up a notch heading toward the Royal Rumble. I know we'll get to that in a second, with some good and some not so good.
Yeah. So, and to get back to it, shout out to the Wyatt Six and Psycho Clown and all that with the AAA match.
Yeah,
what that was all over the place.
And also, TNA will be debuting on AMC next week. Tonight is their last show on Access TV.
Yeah. So we got that. And then, GIF, what's up? And yes, I just kind of to roll into our next segment is we've got call-ups, Oba being one of them. So as far as we know right now, Oba relinquished his title. We'll get to it he'll relinquish his title, and we'll talk more about NXT itself, but he relinquished his title. Which, do you want to talk about it now or do you want to wait?
We'll talk more about detail. Wait. So he's being called up. The other official call-ups as of this moment are Giovanna has been moved to Raw. And how they did it is going to be one of my mini rants. We'll get to that when we talk about Raw, how that was handled. And then on SmackDown got reloaded on Friday with a couple call-ups and a surprise return, which we'll get to in a moment. But the 2 NXT call-ups are great in the form of Trick Williams and Jordan Grace, who have been added to SmackDown. So that's a big thumbs up, and we'll talk about their introductions as part of the return of the 3-hour SmackDown, which surprisingly did not suck. It's like,
blind squirrel, man. Blind squirrel.
Yeah, it's never thought I'd say that. So there's rumors that there's going to be more. There's talk of Blake Monroe, Lola Vice, maybe even not too in the distant future, JC Jane and Fatal Influence also all getting called up. So NXT, they're finally doing what they should have done a while ago. They're finally calling people up that should be called up. And we'll talk about the pros and cons of that when we get to New Year's Evil, because you can definitely tell that they're preparing for that. call-ups and potentially more because they're definitely setting things up to make some major shifts as far as who are the top men and women on the show with these vacancies be happening with the call-ups.
I don't. Are you going to include how Javon didn't really do anything in NXT before he got called up? In your
Yeah, I
will
say I'm like I said, I'm surprised that he didn't get a title run, but like I said, Bianca Belair never got a title run either, and she has turned out just fine on the main roster. So that's it's a surprise, but it's not a detriment.
No,
it's like
Javon's same thing with Leon. Once they finally gets under a WWE contract,
yeah,
you really don't need to put a title on him to make sure he's over. The wrestling
fans already like him, and he's amazingly talented. So it's going to take some time, but he'll be just fine.
And he's been featured. He's been featured multiple times anyway. So it's not like, oh, Javon came out of nowhere and here he is, and you should like him.
Oh, and Sol Ruckus, because with the Saturday's main event, she's probably going to be called up pretty soon too.
Yeah. Don't
know if Zari's going to go with her. Maybe Zari might stay there. I don't know. We don't know. We'll see. But they're definitely looking at Sol Ruckus to be called up soon, which is another good thing.
Mm-hmm.
The more women they add to SmackDown, the better. Because, actually, even if they throw one or two toward Raw, that won't hurt either. Because one thing I will complain about right now is that this push of the women's tag division has been at the detriment of the singles titles, especially for Jade Cargill and Stephanie McCurry as the top two champions and their lack of proper challengers. Now, also, it doesn't help the fact that there's a fucking shoulder injury bug going around on both companies, which is like really bizarre. A lot of people are getting their shoulders hurt. Dirty Dom has been out with a shoulder injury. Word is he's going to be back in time for Rumble. Sheamus went down with the shoulder injury. He just had to get surgery. He's not going to be back for a bit. Beechin got hurt at a house show, hurt her shoulder. She's out for a little bit. Who knows how long. Apparently BFAB also got injured at a house show. She's out as well. So someone in AEW also hurt their shoulder recently too. It's just like, oh, Luchasaurus. Luchasaurus is out with a shoulder injury.
Oh, that's right.
That they wrote him out with being attacked by the Ricochet company. It's like, so they wrote him off TV for a little bit. So it's like, I don't know what's going on with shoulder injuries, but it's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Caden, man. Hope you get to feeling better. Hope you get to feeling better, man. But thanks for stopping by.
All right. Well, hope you feel better, Caden. Appreciate you popping in for a little bit.
Yeah. But I will say, and Stephanie's, it's not a work. She does have a little bit of
a minor injury. Thankfully, it's not too serious that she's not good. If she was going to be out for a long time, they would have had her vacate the title. But and plus we'll get into the whole injury attack angle on Raw. So she's probably going to be out maybe for a few weeks, maybe until by the time of the Rumble, maybe after the Rumble. So that sucks for her, but thankfully it looks like she's not going to miss too much time. So it's like there's injuries all over the place. It's not helping. It's like, but I mean, the fact that Jade Cargill has not really defended the title since she beat Tiffany for it. Also, they gave Tiffany time off, for a while, which I understand. She did a lot of work last year. She held the title for the majority of the year. She put in a lot of her work. Her run wasn't great, and that's not our fault. It was the booking. I mean, especially the whole Charlotte Flair feud was a complete clusterfuck heading into Mania. It was one of the other things that was definitely botched last year. But that's neither here or there. So they really need to bring some people up because you've got a lot of the big names have been moved over to focus on the tag division for the time being. Io Rio, Charlotte and Alexa, Nia Jax Last Legend, the Kabuki Warriors, Judgment Day as well.
Bailey and Lyra.
It's like
Liv and Roxanne.
Yep, Liv and Roxanne. They're all in the tag title mix. And so because of that, there's a lack of challengers for both the top and the mid-card title right now. So the NXT call-ups will definitely help fill the void. So
we've got Nikki Bella. Okay. We're good. She's dating Cooper DeJean. She is fine. She's got to use.
At least Raquel is good enough the ring to be a good feud for.
So we'll get into Raquel. It's one of the few highlights of Raw.
Yeah,
is what they're doing with Raquel. and it's working.
But overall, as far as the finals go, we're going to go to detail. All I'll say right now is that all the call-ups choices so far have been great. What shows they've been onto, I'm good with, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with them, because it's time to move forward. It's like bring up the new stars, start building the new stars.
Yeah. We've been saying that for a while.
So let's get to the return of the 3-hour SmackDown. Ironically, in my backyard of Buffalo, New York, last week.
Right. The Miz opened the show complaining about a bunch of things until Randy Orton returned. That's just a great line. Yeah, he complained about a bunch of things. He said a whole lot of nothing. But he complained about it. But he was supposed to go out there and say a whole bunch of nothing until Randy Orton returned to interrupt him and gave Miz a pair of RKOs to shut him up. Rhea Ripley, Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, and Io Sky defeated Nia Jax, Last Legend, and the Pookie Warriors in an 8-woman tag team match. Matt Cardona returning. They did confirm that.
Big surprise.
Defeated Kit Wilson, which did Death Rebel find their groove with Kit Wilson's theme song?
That theme is surprisingly not bad at all.
No, it's not bad. It's not like it wasn't. I was like, oh, it's not terrible. It's kind of the same thing I felt about Austin Theory's new music. I'm like, I don't hate it, which is actually saying a lot for Death Rebel.
But welcome back, Matt Cardona. You've earned it, dude.
Yeah. Confirmed he had returned. Going forward, Carmelo Hayes defeated Johnny Gargano to retain the United States Championship. That's right. He did defeat Ilya over the 2 week.
I'll go about that briefly in a second. Go ahead.
And then Julia got her title back and beat Chelsea Green to win the United States Championship. In the main event, Damian Priest defeated Aleister Black in an ambulance match. Also, during the show, we had the debut-ish of Trick Williams and Sami Zayn saying what we've been wanting him to say is that he's actually going for a world title.
Yes.
Which is what we've been asking for a while. And also the fans are already into Trick, which is a good thing. I was a little nervous because I knew he was going to be debuting in a sense. And the fact that they put him out there against Sami, and I thought it went exactly how I would want it to go.
Yep.
Trick has arrived, and it's so far we are batting 1,000 on Trick Williams on the main roster. Your thoughts on that segment?
I thought that segment was great. The fact that the Whoop That Trick chant was quite loud told me that the main roster fans have been waiting for him to show up, and that they were very happy to see him. Still gonna have to get used to without the Booker's little addition to the Whoop That Trick chant. I do appreciate Corey Graves saying I can't do Booker T justice, so I'm not going to even try. So I thought that whole segment was great. His introduction, saying, I'm here on SmackDown and I'm coming for gold. And then, they set up him against Rey Fenix for tomorrow for the show in Berlin. That's going to be that's a hell of a way to do Trick, is to have him go against Rey Fenix, his debut match. And then we also, Jordan Grace was introduced in backstage segments, labeled as a free agent, but by come New Year's Eve, Ava pretty much confirmed that she signed to SmackDown, because Jade pretty much disrespected her, and that kind of probably made her decision to be like, okay, yeah, no, I'm going to come to the show to kick your ass. So Jordan getting called up, great. The opening, outside of the opening segment, which I thought was like, okay, whatever. At least Randy's back. For the return to 3-hour SmackDown, the show was actually good. I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. I actually enjoyed the show because we had some great matches. They called people up. Trick and Jordan calling up, great. Matt Cardona is back. That's awesome for him. People were hoping this for him after he came back for the John Cena tournament. So happy that he's back and getting to be Matt Cardona and not Zack Ryder, which is what he wanted. So I know Chelsea Green is very, very happy that her hubby is back in WWE, and they both get to be on the same show, as well. So, the fans were definitely happy to see him, and nice first match back. Julia winning the title back. Okay, great. I'm happy that, because I was like, if she's going to job to Chelsea again, I was going to go and lose my shit. Thankfully, it didn't happen. She pretty much dominated that match and won the title back. Okay, cool. Glad she won. Got the title back. Now it's all about the booking. Just book her better for the love of God. I swear.
With the call-ups, because rumor has it that Lola is going to be joining her boyfriend, Damian Priest, on SmackDown. That's the rumor. We haven't seen it yet.
I would not be surprised. They could definitely use her.
I don't know what else they're going to do with Lola in NXT, honestly. I think she's a complete product at this point.
Yeah, no. And she's very popular, and she's really impressed with not only her work in NXT, but also the work she's done in AAA. Mm-hmm. She's got a feud with Kalani going on, which is still going on. So I think once that's resolved, she's probably going to get called up.
Yeah.
She also made a cryptic post on social media where she said that I got some very awesome news I can't tell you about yet. So I'm assuming that's the main roster call up. And the picture showed her being very emotional. So, yeah. And when Kalani gets called up, she's definitely going to be called up to SmackDown because her fiance Carmelo Hayes is there. Mm-hmm. So, and now speaking of Carmelo, forgot to mention this. Carmelo won the United States Championship against Ilya Dragunov during our hiatus, which was a fucking awesome match. Mm-hmm. And it's about damn time that Melo is getting the push that he deserves. And not only that, he's over and he's popular with fans, which makes it even better. And he had a banger match here against Johnny Gargano. And it looks like Johnny's going to be flying solo because the word is, sadly, that Tommaso Ciampa is not going to be renewing his contract. Looks like he's going to be leaving WWE, which is very sad.
It's on his accord, too, as far as the news is concerned. Yeah. It's like, it's not like he didn't want to, like, they didn't renew him. He just was like,
He's choosing to leave. He's like, he decided not to sign a new contract. And it's like, he's decided to leave, which is unfortunate. But I probably understand where he's coming from at this point. So that explains why he hasn't been on the show for the last couple weeks, and it's been mostly just Johnny and Candace focused, and which is fine. You know, it's like Johnny can kill it. In the mid card here. So they had a great match, and they're teasing things. I mean, eventually you're going to have Trick and Mello going on against each other down the line for the U.S. title, I assume. Weird tease with Tama Tonga and Nakamura. I guess that's alluding to their New Japan history or something because they were speaking in Japanese. I found a translation for it, and it's like I don't have time to pull it up, but someone who does speak Japanese translated what they were saying to each other. Sounds like they were basically talking smack. So that could lead to something, who knows? The MFTs and Solo stuff against the Wyatts. Okay, whatever. That's fine. And the main
Solo's
event,
doing some good work. I will say that Solo's doing everything.
He is. He's definitely doing the heavy lifting in this faction feud for sure. And the main event, the ambulance match, was really good. Damon Priest definitely needed it. The win. Aleister Black will be fine. I was expecting Lil Vice to show up to help, but it was Rhea instead who showed up to neutralize Zelina to help out her buddy Damon Priest. So no surprise there. Some wicked nasty spots, especially him dumping him right onto the fucking windshield of the ambulance was pretty nasty.
He didn't say real glass though. Why didn't he give it to Punk, man? He didn't say real glass. But I'm glad they even acknowledged that. Even Damian Priest joked about how like this feud has been going on for much, which it has. It's been going on for too long. So thankfully, this should be the end of it. The Damian Priest Aleister feud was the same thing with Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre. It went on a bit too long. And the thing is that they're trying to get Damian Priest over, but you have him job too many times. If you want him to go over, do it like you typically do, to where people are just like, I thought we were done with this feud. Mm-hmm. And you got to that point twice now with both feuds that Damian's been in. It's not Damian's fault, but it's just kind of like I thought we were done with this. Yeah. We're going to move on to something else. Speaking about Drew, he better win. This is it. Like I don't know what else you're going to do with it, and I don't think they're going to have him go over
so badly tomorrow in the 3 stages of Hell match. I just don't think they have the guts to pull.
They're not going to do it. If they didn't do it on Monday, they're not doing it tomorrow.
But I will say the closing segment last week was gold. Him burning that picture of him and his dad. That's the heel Drew McIntyre love, and so that was a great final sell for the match. So I really appreciated that. So I'm sure the match will deliver, even though it's going to be on TV. You know, it's not going to be a full blood fest like you would hope it would be if it was on pay-per-view, but they're going to have plenty of time to do the 3 Stages of Hell match with a 3-hour show. Now, the spoilers are going to be out because since it's Berlin, it's going to be airing live on Netflix in the afternoon and on tape delay on USA later in the evening. So it's like I'm going to try to stay off the it'll be easier to stay off the net since I'll be working until 4, but I'm definitely probably going to check out what happened as soon as I get done with work tomorrow. Because I got D&D tomorrow night. It's like, and so that way I can get most of the show out of my way and not have to worry about watching it late at night when I get home. So,
Yeah.
But overall, with the main event, a bunch of the matches, the call-ups, Matt Cardona, this was a good episode.
I mean, you did this is kind of like you had a really great stiff, you had solid matches, but then you had debuts.
Yep.
You had debuts, you had comebacks as far as Randy Orton coming back. So it's kind of like it was a cheat code on making this a good show. Mm-hmm. So I'm glad that it worked, but I'm skeptical about what they're going to be doing going forward. I know not every show can be great.
Yeah, not every 3-hour show is going to be great, but this was a good start to the year.
It felt like, so it definitely felt fresh.
Yes, and also they set things up where also besides, you know, they made sure that other people made it clear that they want the WWE title. Sammy, Orton even told Cody when he's done dealing with Drew, he wants a title shot, which they've been teasing for a long time. It's like all the glares he's made at the title belt over, since last year. So that's long overdue. Which also makes me not confident that Drew won the title, but just if they had the guts, give him the title for at least a couple weeks, maybe until either Rumble or Elimination Chamber. It's like it's not going to hurt Cody. It's annoying. Anyway,
it's just nice to see Carmelo and Trick over already.
Yeah,
well, Trick already over, and Carmelo finally getting there.
Yeah,
of being over and being booked properly. And Julia getting the title back. Now, getting booked properly is a different story.
Yeah, her being booked properly, that's a whole different story that we can only hope for. It's like I'm not having much confidence at the moment, but I'm going to start trying to be positive.
Yeah. All right. But yeah, no, solid. Spoiler alert, guys. This was the best show of the week.
Yeah. When this and NXT New Year's Eve were both better than Raw, that says a lot. Because let's get to Raw because man, they really blew it with the Raw premiere.
So going into it, I'll just say this before I go into the actual recap. Going into it, Adam Pearce went on the internet to hype up like he normally does.
Yep.
And he said they will break the walls down.
Yeah, So who will break the wall down?
Who will break the walls down?
And immediately people assumed it was a Jericho reference and that Jericho was going to show up, and he did not.
And when after that video was released, 3,000 tickets were sold. Because right at that point, going into it, they only had like 9,000 tickets sold.
Yep.
And then as soon as they did that, they bumped it for 3,000 tickets. And I don't know if people thought, and it was a Stranger Things based episode. So the set, we finally got a cool set. I'll say that.
Yeah.
But we didn't get any of the Stranger Things cast.
Nope.
Cole looked like he was lost coming out of that van. And we had no Jericho, and that was the deadest crowd I've ever seen a Brooklyn crowd in my life.
That really hurt the show. Was like the crowd for outside of certain moments was pretty lifeless.
Yeah,
which really shocked me.
Yeah. As far as the matches go, Io Sky and Rhea Ripley defeated the Kabuki Warriors to win the WWE Tag Team Championships. Becky Lynch defeated Maxine Dupree to get back her Intercontinental Championship. Liv Morgan with Roxanne defeated Lyra with Bayley. In the main event, CM Punk defeated Braun Breaker to retain the World Heavyweight Championship. Punk celebrated with the fans as the show ended, and people probably would have been a lot more hyped up about Punk retaining if they didn't think that Jericho was going to show up.
Yep.
Now, as a promoter, that is their job.
Yep.
I will. I'll do pro and I'll just give my 2 cents to back up. As a promoter, you're not supposed to come out and say, guys, don't worry, the show's going to be mid. You can't do that.
Nope.
That being said, you've been hyping this show particularly for the past 2 weeks as like the big anniversary of Raw, and we thought a lot more was gonna happen. We did have 3 title changes, but it was title changes that the title change that we wanted didn't happen. It was supposed to be Braun.
Honestly, I was not expecting Braun to win this match. I was expecting Punk to retain. I was not surprised that he retained.
I know. I'm not surprised, but I wanted it. Like the title change that we wanted to happen.
Right. I would have been perfectly fine if Braun won, but I was not expecting because I didn't think they were going to pull the trigger on Braun just yet. And so that's what happened.
WWE, because and this isn't just my take, it's also some of the other IWC and Wrestle Talk and Santee and all of them kind of have the same thought that I did, is Triple H, while his long-form storytelling can be good, if you keep doing it and not give us some swerves, it becomes way too predictable. And the fact that you are not exchanging your titles, other than obviously you did exchange like your mid-cards and stuff, you do that all the time. But when you don't have your champions exchange on only thing other than the big 4 or 3, mainly just SummerSlam, WrestleMania, basically those 2. Like if you don't have your titles go over, and other than those 2 shows, it's just like it's hard for me to get hyped up when I know the result. Yeah, because your bookings become too predictable. You got to give us something different. And if you're trying to get, and plus your champions are old. They're old. And I know you
need to go with, it's time to really push the more younger talent. I mean, I love Punk, but it's like he can only go for so long, and he can still put on good matches, but it's like I'm not worried about Braun. They're going to put the title on him soon enough.
Yeah. I'm thankfully Braun didn't screw up his neck again on that botch.
I don't know what happened with that botch. I'm glad no one got neither one of them.
Someone thought that Punk's feet were not there correctly, so he couldn't. Anyway, the recovery was good. I mean, we all knew it was a botch, but at least they recovered it well. Whereas sometimes if a botch like that happens, like they just look at each other like, I don't know what to do, where Punk was able to do it, and then they got it done. But it's still, you got to do what you got to do on that. The tag team match with the Kabuki Warriors was good. The Becky Maxine match wasn't.
No, it was not. It compared to the previous matches, it was not that good. And not surprised that Becky won the title back. She cheated to win. I think we're getting the full-on Becky AJ over the title feud coming.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. I don't mind, Rhea and Io winning the tag titles. Obviously it's like this is part of them trying to build the titles back up. But 2 of their most popular baby faces with the titles, I'm fine. They got plenty of people coming after him, so we'll see what happens. Liv and Lyra had a really nice match. It sucks that the crowd was dead for it because those 2 were putting in the fucking work.
They were. It was a great match.
And I loved all the shenanigans, especially Roxanne trying to take out Bayley, and then Bayley going nuts and chasing poor Roxanne to the back.
Right. Liv's, she's there. Like, don't tell me she's not one of the top 5 females as far as like in-ring work and stuff like that. But as far as money that she brings in, like, she's top 5 on that.
I did like the Raquel attacking Stephanie and going after the injured ankle to get more heat, and it worked because the fans were booing the hell out of her for doing that because they like Stephanie. So that helps further their feud over the title, which is a good thing. So hopefully Stephanie won't be out for too long. When she went back, she's that next match should definitely have a lot of heat to it.
The crowd being so dead for. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. trying to think anything else positive I can say, because like otherwise it's like the Dead Crowd and some of their choices. It was just a very dull show.
I just again, it's like you brought it. Just we had a lot of expectations, not just because you hyped it up. We get it.
And the
we
main
hyped it
event
up.
was really damn good. It was one of the
Yeah, it was.
the show. It's just that without any big surprise or anything happening, it kind of fell flat. That okay, yep, Punk's still a champion, and then that's it. You know, I thought maybe LA Knight would come back and cost Braun the title shot. That didn't happen. You know, we had the Vision running like I expected, but you had Ray, Penta, and Dragon Lee nullifying the Vision.
What in the Michael Jordan coming up with reasons why you should attack somebody?
Right.
What are they doing? Because I never not. When did the Vision decide they're going to take down Lucha Libre?
Well, I think it started with, remember, Logan Paul like feeling disrespected by Rey Mysterio, so that's why that stuff's going on.
Yeah, but it's just at no point.
And also remember, Penta also ran afoul of the Vision multiple times, and they wrote into storyline that he was hurt by them, so he's got payback, and Dragon Lee's got nothing else to do now that him and AJ have lost the tag titles.
He at least tried to keep the continuity when him and Ray were like, when Ray was like saying, they're trying to attack Lucha Libre. He goes, okay, let me go talk to AJ. Like, there's like, oh yeah, there's still a thing. Speaking of AJ,
okay, one of the positive is what you're about to bring up. I did enjoy the AJ Styles Gunther interaction to set up their feud. I like that.
The crowd didn't. Did they even know what was going on in front of them when those two squared off?
I don't know. That's what the other thing is like.
Because you can even tell they were pausing for crowd, and the crowd didn't care.
Yeah, it was really weird.
It made that interaction awkward.
But thankfully, it still worked.
Yeah, it still worked because it's freaking AJ and Gunther.
Yeah.
And then but them making the match in the back was just like, you want the match? Yeah. Okay, we're gonna have the match. Okay.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised that they're doing the match for the Overseas Raw, but it's going to be in Germany, which is Gunther's backyard. So that's going to have heat. And plus, I don't think this is going to be the one and only match between the two of them. So.
This is those two are going to make your price of admission.
I expect them to tear the fucking house down overseas on Monday. But yeah, this was. It's like I said on Discord, I never thought I'd say this, but a 3-hour SmackDown was better than a 2.5-hour Raw. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah. And then all right, I'll let you get to a mini few because we had two things during commercial breaks.
The Javon, yes. Oh god.
And it might have happened the last 2 weeks, but Finn Balor's like babyface promo.
Yeah, why are we not seeing that? And then
those two things should be on TV.
The biggest offense to me is that they announced that Javon has joined Raw and he signed his contract with Adam Pearce, but they do it during the ad break, only the people overseas watching it saw it, and us in the U.S. who are not using a fucking VPN completely missed out on it unless we check social media. It's like, what the fuck?
I don't know. I don't get it. And then I thought the Finn Balor, that's the first
time I saw. Javon's on Raw, but why the fuck was it during a fucking commercial break that only the people outside the United States could see? It's like, it doesn't make any fucking sense.
You're on Netflix. You can take 10 minutes.
It's like they move that to the commercial break just so that the Usos could come out to yeet with the fucking crowd.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That's how forgettable that was.
Look, I understand they love the Usos and they love the yeet, but that was complete filler. It's like you could have just had them do a backstage thing where they're like, "Yo, we're the tag champs now. Come and get it." And then you had the one thing on camera for every fan to watch, not just the ones outside the United States.
Yeah. Hey, you want to see a new star? Get a VPN.
Now, I like Javon going to Raw. I think that's great for him. He's going to be a great addition to the mid card. He's definitely going to be gunning for that Intercontinental title once Dirty Dom is back from injury. So that'll be fun stuff.
Do you think they should have done the Maxine Dupree montages before she won the Intercontinental Championship.
Probably.
Because didn't she say that she was going? She wasn't prepared.
Yeah, where's Natty? It's like Natty helped train her, and she's like nowhere to be found. It was weird.
I mean, we know the money match is Becky and AJ.
And plus, when you're heading to Mania season, having a title on Becky is a good thing because she's one of the best heels they got. So
it's still Becky still did her job, even though Maxine had a short run.
The fans like Maxine. She helped get her over. So.
Except for Brooklyn. I don't think Brooklyn realized a wrestling ring was in front of them. That's so awkward. I've never seen a crowd that dead before, especially in Brooklyn.
Yeah, it was really weird. That also was a detriment to the show. Besides, just like the overall, just like nothing exciting. Outside the title changes in the main event, nothing exciting happened. It's like nothing shocking happened, which you were expecting. It's like, so disappointment for sure. Yeah. So we'll rebound next week.
Yeah. All right. So Dynamite, John Moxley defeated Shelton Benjamin in AEW Continental Championship Eliminator match. Jack Perry and the Young Bucks back with their old music, defeated the Demand in a 6-man tag team match. The Don Callis family came out to attack. After the match, Jet Speed came out to help, but the lights went out. And when they were back on, Andrade, which got all of his legal stuff out of the way, was in the ring and helped the Callis family beat down the babyfaces once again, joining AEW. Also, we had used to be Jake something, and now he's with his actual last name. Now
Jake Doyle. He's also a member. Everyone's a member of the Don Callis family at this point. They're like the fucking NWO.
Yeah. Bandito defeated Sammy Guevara in a non-title match. MJF came out to confront Bandito ahead of their AEW title match next week, and it ended in a brawl with Bandito getting the better of MJF. I'm looking forward to that because those are two different styles, and I think that will be really good. Because Bandito is more people need to talk about how good Bandito really is. I think not enough people talk about how good he is.
That was one of their. I forgot. That's one of their positives last year was the rise of Bandito and Brodito. For AEW, definitely one of the bright spots.
Yeah. Tony Storm defeated Marina Shafir by DQ when Wheeler Yuta pulled the referee out of the ring to prevent Tony from pinning Marina. Orange Cassidy, Roddy Strong, and Mina Shirakawa came out to back up Tony to prevent a Death Riders beatdown. In the main event, Hangman Page and Swerve Strickland defeated the Ops in a tag team lights out match. I'll start with the lights out match.
Yeah.
Just do a tag team match at that point.
That match
because they could not get the lights right.
No, that match went way too long. They started the fucking main event at 9:57 p.m. Eastern time, and it had a fucking nearly 20-minute overrun. The match was too long. It had some great spots in it, but it was too long. It dragged too long, and plus the stuff with the cinder blocks was ridiculous. To the point where even I was agreeing with JR, just like when JR says let's get this match over with, that something's not working.
The show started off, I was like, okay, and then once the Tony Storm stuff, it just dipped.
Yeah,
because that match was a cluster.
The stuff with MJF and Bandito was one of the best parts of the show.
John Moxley and Shelton Benjamin, they wrestled their ass off.
They did. They tried to work their ass off. The Sammy Bandito match was pretty decent. Man, the fans don't like Sammy, man. He's still got go away heat.
At least he gets a reaction, unlike the Brooklyn crowd. Yes, this show is brought to you by how much I hated that Brooklyn crowd.
The Willow celebration where Mercedes got humiliated was a complete fucking waste of time.
Yeah, but at least Mercedes is getting. Everyone likes to see Mercedes get her face putting cake.
That, she's hitting rock bottom.
Yeah.
Also, one positive. I'm glad that they're finally allowing Tekla to talk and cut promos because she's killing it right now. Mm-hmm. And I really want to see her and Statlander feud over the title at this point.
Yes. I agree with that. The 6-man with the Bucks and Jack. I mean,
that's fine.
Yes. It's just the fact that we're so used to the Bucks being so good that it's that's what they do.
Yeah, that's what they do.
If you show Bucks matches to any person who's never watched wrestling, they're like, oh my God, that's great. To us, it's like that's literally every match they do.
Yeah. And Don Callis family is so fucking bloated. It's like when the lights
at this point, I'm like, keep adding.
Oh, if you'd paid attention, you knew the word was that he got a good lawyer, and they worked things out with WWE to nullify the non-compete. So it won't last a year, so he can be able to do stuff. So no surprise, he's back at AEW again.
Yeah.
Again. And enjoying the Don Callis family. Again.
He's a gypsy soul, man. He bounces around.
It's so ridiculous how many people are the Don Callis fan right now.
No, at this point, I think they're just leaning into how ridiculous it is.
And I think a friend of mine said the same thing the other day. She said, "I think that's the joke at this point."
Yeah, because at first I was like with you. Like 2 weeks ago, I was like, how? And then when they added Jake Doyle, and I'm like, okay, I think they're in on the bit now. They're just going for it, and I think this has Don Callis being like, no, just keep giving me people. Just keep giving me people, because I mean, New Japan does that shit all the time. Which I think this is the end of the Bullet Club after in New Japan, but I don't know for sure on that. I do want to bring up. I did show that. Shout out to Sean at. Let me see if I get this right. At Uneasy Pause, who said. Black and red Darby plus black and red Sting get involved for no reason. We all go nuts because they were talking about the Don Callis like wolf pack. As far as them,
I also shared a great poking fun at the whole thing from John Elba of Sports Illustrated saying Don Callis family wolf pack versus Don Callis family 2000 and Blood and Guts this year.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Yes, just yeah.
Even John Elba was pointing out the ridiculousness of how bloated the Don Callis family is.
Yeah, if you're gonna do it, go all in. Yeah, go all in. Like we've seen this experiment before. It doesn't work, but I think they're doing it as a wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We know it's stupid, which is fine. As long as as long as they're, it's one thing when you're not aware of what you're doing and everyone else can see it. They're very much aware. Don is way too smart of a wrestling mind to not know what he's doing. And I know this has Don Callis written all over it. It's not obviously Tony has the final say, but this has Tony written all over it. I mean Don written all over it on that. But yeah, those just last two matches were just so. The lights out was a disappointment, and plus, like, it's like you shouldn't be using cinder blocks because in real life that would you fucking kill someone. Now, thankfully, God bless Powerhouse Hobbs when Hangman. They did the stomp / Deadeye combo to him onto the cinder blocks. He sold like he was fucking dead. Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad he did that because he did not move until the end of the fucking match. He sold like he was knocked the fuck out. So God bless him for that. But otherwise, that was completely ridiculous. The match went on too long. It's like these kind of street fights, it's like they happen so often in AEW. I'm getting numb to this shit because it's the same old thing.
They're running into
staple gun spot. Check.
Yeah.
Cinder block. Check. Chains. Check.
Yeah.
Their goons are shown to be as one of the most ineffectual goon squads ever because even though they have Hangman and Swerve completely outnumbered, they still overcome the fucking Geek Squad, beat the fuck out of them, and still win the match. It's almost like Hangman and Swerve were going like Super Cena. It's like,
guys, if you're gonna book a job squad, I know there was a job squad that was an actual faction. Shout out to Al Snow and all them back in the day. But if you're gonna book a job squad, you gotta have some relevance, like the Mean Street Posse. Okay, did you ever think you're gonna hear about that? You're gonna think you ever heard me say that name in 2026?
Posse, God bless you.
The Mean Street Posse. That's how you book jobbers and make them entertaining. Okay, there's just and they actually were Shane's buddies. They're like, yeah, you want to wrestle? Anywho, the show started off. I mean, just those two last matches just left such a bad taste. Compared to the Moxley, Benjamin, Bandito being really good. Sammy Guevara still getting go away heat. The Bucks and Perry with the Bucks getting there. And the crowd was fine. I still don't get what they're doing with Moxley in the face turn, but I think it was organically a face turn in a sense because the crowd just made it a face turn. He really didn't.
I think the crowd has made it happen. It's not something they were planning.
And if the crowd's making it a face turn,
And then Darby looking like a fucking geek, like, I want a match with you back. No. I want a match with you. No. All right, then I'm gonna beat the fuck out of you. Okay, you have a match.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that show was a C plus to me because I thought the
Yeah.
beginning was really good, and then the two, like this was off to being like,
It was not a
okay,
complete disaster, but it was very much a mid show.
no, yeah, good job, Raw and Dynamite. Yep.
Now let's go back. Let's one thing on something that was definitely a more positive show.
Yeah,
NXT's New Year's Evil.
Well, it wasn't positive because someone lost the title. No, just kidding. But yeah, we'll get to that.
She wasn't supposed to win the title in the first place.
I know. But still, she has it. So just, anyway. But she did. Blake Monroe versus Thea Hale for the NXT Women's North American Championship did not happen because Blake attacked Thea before she got in the ring with the chair and beat her down before security and officials stopped her. Ava kicked Blake out of the PC for her actions later. Thea told Ava she still wanted to defend the title tonight, even if she wasn't 100% and do an open challenge. Ava reluctantly agreed. Tatum Paxley defeated Izzy Dane. JC Jane defeated Kendall Gray to retain the NXT Women's Championship. That was a good match. Izzy Dane defeated Thea Hale to win the NXT Women's North American Championship in an open challenge. Izzy beat out Tatum and other women, to the ring first. And in the main event, Oba Femi defeated TNA X Division champion Leon Slater to retain the NXT Championship. After the match, Ava was shown talking to Evolve and NXT talent, telling them there are now opportunities with Trick, Javon, and Jordan Grace, all going to the main roster for them to move up and step up. Robert Stone runs in to ask Ava if she saw what Oba has done. It cut back to the ring to show the NXT title laying in the ring. Oba Femi had vacated the NXT title to move up to the main roster. Tony D'Angelo was shown in the crowd staring at the NXT title as the show came to an end. And that, my friends, is how you make Tony D'Angelo, quote unquote, in the main event picture.
Yep.
We now have our main eventers of NXT. We have Tony D'Angelo. We have Ricky. Ethan Page is right there too. Now, I know that
that's where they got some work to do.
Yeah. Blake Monroe, the fact that she was immediately on NXT and not on the main roster, whatever.
That was her choice.
That was her choice. And then they were like, because you knew that for one thing, she was supposed to get the title. Thea wasn't supposed to win it.
Yeah.
But then they were like, actually, we need her now.
Because when she attacked Thea before the match even started, I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess they are calling her up because that's the only reason that she's not winning, because she's definitely not winning the title back tonight after what she just did. So I definitely felt like they're preparing to move Blake up as well. Because if she wasn't being moved up, she would have won the title back because she wasn't supposed to lose in the first place. So instead, we got Izzy Dane becoming the new champion instead by taking advantage of Thea making a very stupid decision and doing open challenge when she was not 100%, and Izzy Dane took advantage of it and beat her for the title. So congrats to Izzy Dane. Obviously, this whole being with the Culling and the feud with Tatum Paxley and that whole relationship has definitely helped get her more over as a heel. They definitely are high on her, so her winning the championship makes sense. I was hoping Kendall Gray would beat JC Jane and dethrone her so that JC Jane could get called up, but that didn't happen. I guess JC's going to hold on to the title for just a little bit more longer before she gets called up. But I'm not worried. Her and Kendall had a great match. Kendall Gray's fucking awesome. She's the future. So she's going to bounce back. And then Oba retaining against Leon Starter made sense. I didn't think Leon had a chance. I thought it was going to be a great match. Only if they wanted to pull a shocking start, because I was like, well, they got to take the title off of Oba before he gets called up. Well, they decide, no, we'll take the title off Oba, but he's just going to voluntarily decide to vacate it. So he basically pulled what Asuka did back in the day, because Asuka, when she got called up to main roster, she vacated the NXT Women's Championship and maintained her being completely undefeated in NXT, and then carried it over to the main roster until
and then she went to the main roster and immediately lost to Charlotte.
Yeah, the stupid decision to have her lose to Charlotte Evans.
You pulled her all the way up, and then Vince was like, I didn't book that, pal.
Yeah, fuck that. But yeah, no, he basically pulled an Asuka and dropped the title to maintain his undefeated. It's like, There are only two people in NXT got to beat him clean: Tony D and Ricky Saints.
Yep. I thought he was going to go to the main roster after Ricky beat him.
Mm-hmm.
And then they put him back on it. But the thing is the way they are booking Oba, you can't have him lose at this point.
No, him vacating the title was the right move because you want him to go to the main roster with this aura of he is a wrecking machine and he is nearly impossible to beat. I think just put the title back on just to add a little more spice to him, especially him going against Cody at Saturday Night's Main Event. But him vacating the title, I think, is great because now it's going to be very to see how Ava is going to decide who the new champion is going to be. I think the two most likely outcomes are like a tournament or probably a multi-person ladder match at Vengeance Day to crown the new champion. And probably maybe have qualifying matches to determine who gets into the ladder match to try to win the vacant title. This would be my guess. Yeah. And Tony D'Angelo and Ricky Saints are both going to be in the mix for that because Ricky made it clear he wants the title back. Tony D'Angelo, he's staring right at the fucking title at the end of the show. So he definitely wants to get his hands on it. It's the only title that Tony hasn't won in NXT. He's been North American champion and tag champion. So if he wins the NXT championship, he'll complete the trifecta.
Yeah. Okay, let me get to the segment that was like, what the F are they doing? And that was
Ethan I know exactly what segment we're talking about. Let's get it over with. This was the only low light of the show for me, this whole segment.
Who booked that?
It started out fine. Ethan was doing great. And, okay, Jasper Troy coming out. Okay, fine. Tavion coming out. Okay, cool. Yep, because Tavion's got the title shot against Jasper for the speed title. Tavion's getting that push that we want to see because he's awesome. And then all these other people, including Shiloh Hill, and it went completely down the fucking toilet.
His teeth fell off.
And his fucking tooth fell out on top of Ariana Grace. It's like, what the? That was complete clusterfuck.
Mm-hmm.
That was like the only thing on the show that I did not like because I was just like, what the fuck is this? It's like,
and the way with the commercials and everything, they did Oba and they did Oba and Leon an injustice to the audience of what we could have gotten.
A little bit more time.
Yeah.
Well,
a little nitpicky.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's Leon and Oba. Like you knew what you're going to get, but that's the thing is we were wanting more. Yeah, and they kind of held back.
I like that Leon gave him a fight, and they teased that it's like he came close, but then Oba just overpowered him. It's like so it wasn't like a squash. It was like he put up a fight, but he just couldn't overcome Oba. It's like it's like he came close. So that's makes Leon look good. Yes, I'm bummed with you. It's like I was happy that Thea won a title, even though she wasn't supposed to win it. But, I was not expecting her to walk out of New Year's Evil as a champion. Thought it was going to be Blake. We were wrong. Like Blake did not win the title back. They gave it to Izzy David instead.
I don't mind that it happened, Izzy, because you have to create new you have to create new stars because you're having other stars go
Especially if Blake is part of the call-ups too. It's
right.
Like they need to, it's like, which I'm fine with. Fucking Blake is main roster ready anyway. She already was before she even got here. Yeah. It's like, I think she just, from what I've heard, she wanted to go to NXT to work on her character, build up who her character is as Blake Monroe and the glamour and stuff. And, spend a little time in NXT before going up to main roster. Basically same decision Stephanie Kirby. Stephanie is like, you know what? I want to go to NXT first. I want to, build myself up there first before I go to the main roster. Same with Julia. It's like, and it, so if Blake's about to be called up, I'm probably fine with that. They could definitely use her. She doesn't need to be in NXT for that. She didn't need to be in NXT for very long anyway. Jordan Grace, I felt, was spent way too much time in NXT. She should have been called up a while ago. But they fixed that, thankfully. Lola is probably about to get called up. So do you think it's like I don't know if Kalani's going to stay around there much longer as well. She's done a lot there anyway. She's won titles. So, it's like it's like she. So I'm glad that they brought up like Kendall and some other people. They're trying to build up these other women to step up with all these call-ups happening. Now, Soul and Zarya might also be called up soon as well. They're teasing Soul going after JC Jane, which I'm fine with. She hasn't really had much of an NXT Championship title match opportunities before, but it's definitely going to win. I'm just wondering if they're finally going to do the Zarya split before she gets called to the main roster or not. That's what I'm wondering.
I don't know. But I thought I know Blake wanted to go to NXT, but it just for that match that she had with Toni Storm last year, which is a top 10 match of the year, arguably top 5, if whoever you ask. And then she immediately goes to the Performance Center. Nothing against NXT, but you were the top dog and one of the best feuds of 2025. And then you go to NXT to work on your character. I get it. It was her choice. And I hope it works out. But you had a shit ton of momentum. And then you went to NXT, obviously for a cup of coffee. But then it hurt. I thought it hurt her a little bit.
I don't think it hurt her, but I get what you're saying that, they should just gone right to the main roster. But like I said, it was her choice. She wanted to do some stuff in NXT. I think she wanted to figure out who the Blake Monroe character is, make it, have some similarities to Mariah May, but be different than Mariah May. And that's what she was able to pull off. Yeah. There was a little bit of that Mariah May, insidiousness in the character now, but there's also some differences. I like she's done a good job of building up her heel persona, so that it's like she can be able to really go all out on the main roster with it.
I mean, we still got her and Jordan Grace's feud, which was awesome.
Yeah, so. Yeah, her and Jordan Grace's feud was awesome. That was one of the highlights from NXT last year was their feud.
Yeah. We can't not talk about NXT without talking about Joe Hendry.
That reminds me. You think that Joe Hendry, why is he in NXT? Well, I think it's pretty obvious why he's NXT. They're using Joe Hendry to help get other people over. Mm-hmm. First it was Thea. Now they're using him to try to get Dark State over as a heel faction with this.
Yep. And they're trying, and they're using, and he's also coincidentally trying to get OTM over.
Yes, that's the other thing I was going to say. And now with him asking OTM for help against Dark State, that's helping try to get them over.
Yeah. Now they've tried to get OTM over, I think 12 times now.
So if this doesn't work, it's not going to work at all.
No.
It's like
they've because Jada, and they were like, well, Jada, she's like the Gwen Stefani of no doubt.
I don't know where Jada is. She's like on AWA. She's still doing house shows, but I'm like, I don't know why she's not on TV. I don't know what's going on there.
So weird.
Her disappearing is very strange.
Very strange. But yeah, Joe Hendry, he is a Swiss Army knife of he's always over. It doesn't matter what you do. You can't really. He
also made it clear that he also chose to go and spend some time in NXT voluntarily.
Well, he's probably just getting used to working WWE style stuff. It's the kind of same thing with. That's why they had Julie and Stephanie go to NXT because they wanted to get used to the style. Yeah, obviously, especially Julia, because you had to go to strong style and come over to WWE, which is kind of like learning a different language. Mm-hmm. And the two talents were too undeniable. They really couldn't hold on to them long enough, especially Stephanie, because her style is easier.
She got over so quickly that it's like, they're like, no, we got to move her up, man.
Right.
She's too fucking good.
Yeah. And I need her to feud with Liv yesterday. I'm glad that they're doing it with Raquel and trying to get other people over.
I'm glad Raquel's getting a chance to shine for a little bit as a single again. It's like, I mean, her and Roxy were great together as a tag team, the tag team title run. But I'm like that she's getting a singles push. But yeah, no, I want, besides Liv, I also want to see her feud with Becky once Becky drops the IC title again. I want to see. Because both Liv and Becky would be great heel opponents for Stephanie. Absolutely.
I want AJ to win the title, and then Roxanne.
Yeah, exactly. Give it to AJ Lee, and then AJ can feud with Roxanne, and Roxanne can get her dream match and beat her idol, her mommy, to win a title.
Yeah. I just want AJ and Roxanne. I just want that feud because AJ, it's going to happen.
It's going to happen this year.
Roxanne is exactly the right. They are. I've not been disappointed with how they're doing Roxanne. Yeah, so far.
Roxanne is definitely going to be pushing it, and of course, AJ and Punk are going to be all for it. Especially AJ is going to be all for it because she loves Roxanne, and she's going to do whatever she can to help get her over even more over. So
but to me, like I said, I know NXT was okay. Raw was super
this was a good
disappointing.
show. It wasn't as good as last year's New Year's Eve, but this was a solid show. And I like the ending with the Oba vacating the title. So now it's kind of like, okay, what's going to happen next? Kind of feeling. It's like with the NXT title, as we had. Because we got Vengeance Day coming up, so we're going to crown a new champion by Vengeance Day. Whatever Ava decides, whether it's going to be, some kind of tournament or a ladder match or something. And then we'll get like a title match at Stand and Deliver. So the top two candidates for getting their hands on the title, I think, it's either Ricky or Tony D. They're going to get their hands on the title. Because no one else is ready to hold that title just yet, especially now that Javon's gone. Now, it looks like they're preparing Miles Bourne to take the North American title from Ethan Page, and I'm fine with that because I feel like that's a good starting place for him before if you want to get him eventually into the main title picture. Have him because they've been teasing that stuff with him and Ethan for a while now, so I think they're finally going to go there. And so after he takes title, that's when you can call Ethan up, move him over to SmackDown, and pair him with Chelsea Green because they're awesome together.
Yeah, and shout out to Tavion Heights for squashing Lexus King in like 2 seconds.
Yes, that was awesome.
Yeah. Speaking of Miles Bourne, did you see where he's like? Did you see like on the internet where like people were arriving and he was helping Stephanie out? Like they're like full-fledged like couple, like they're like out in public now.
Yeah. It's like everyone knows that they're a couple, but it's like I like that they're not hiding it. So yeah, I saw the clip where they were arriving to a show. And he was helping her out of the car, and she gave him a big kiss in front of the fans, and you could hear the fans going, "Ooh!" Yeah. It's like, yes, Miles Bourne, you were a very lucky man to have Stephanie. So
yeah,
don't blow it.
Two things as far as two people that are undeniable, but how long are you going to hold them back? Now, Braun Breaker, we know his path, right? Obafemi and Kendall Gray. Those two are undeniable.
Yes.
But how long are you going to hold them back?
I think they need to have Kendall drop the Evolve Women's title and then have her move over to NXT proper and then have her win the NXT Women's Championship. Okay. Unless they want to do a double belter. They want to eventually double belter, fine. But she's proven that she belongs on NXT. She doesn't need to be on Evolve for much longer. She's amazing. And they're definitely HBK sees the promise in her. Well, that otherwise he wouldn't have had her win the Iron Survivor and had her featured like this recently. So she's going to get a big push in 2026. She's definitely like the big future star of the NXT Women's Division going forward. With all the call-ups happening here, that's going to deplete the women's roster. But thankfully, they still got a lot of talent. Thea's still there. It's like Thea got title run at least finally, even though it was brief and not expected to happen, but at least it happened. And so we'll see where they will go with this, with the way she lost the title. Let's see what happens. Hopefully more good things for her. I'm just glad she finally got this like push and feature, like her being paired with Joe Hendry was a step in the right direction. Finally, it's like do something with her, and then the unexpected thing with the title. Ended up, even though it was supposed to happen, it's definitely benefited her. So hopefully more good things for Thea this year.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. It seems like she's heading in the right direction, but sometimes it's just like, all right, we'll do this for a couple seconds. Like that's what I fear about Maxine is like, all right, we'll get you over, but
she's only 21 too. I mean, she started in NXT when she was fucking 18 years old.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not too worried about Thea. Obviously, ever since that, well, when she was with Chase U and she showed the charisma. Yeah, and that's like what she has charismatically and character-wise.
And the fans really embraced her winning the title. It's like it's like you could tell. It's like it definitely helped her.
Yeah.
And so you could tell how bummed they were she lost the title. It's
but her obviously I'll go back to it for the 700th time. But she had it. I was like, okay, cool. And then her match with Roxanne was like, okay, she's got. Obviously, it was more. I probably was a little bit more Roxanne carrying the match because obviously they're two of the same size.
Yeah.
Which Roxanne really doesn't. There's nobody that's Roxanne's size. She's tiny, and which shows how good Roxanne is because she can just work any type of match. But Thea match was so good that you can see, okay, Thea's got it, and then she just went away, and I was like, and they finally brought her back, Joe Hendry, all that. So I'm hoping that they are just carrying that momentum into 2026. Obafemi cuts a better promo than 75% of the main roster.
It's amazing how good he's become in such a short period of time. He's only been in NXT. He was only in NXT. Let's see. He started in 2023, and then like in the beginning of 2024, it was clear like, oh wow, they got something with this guy. And then he had that North American title run, and he was just dominating. And then the feud with Tony D helped really put him over the top. Their feud was great. And then the title run and everything, and how dominant he was. It's like the more time went on, that it's like he just kept getting better in the ring, and then he got more comfortable and more natural with his promos. So he's like the complete fucking package, ready to go. And he's gonna
the 2 seconds of him and Cody squaring off. I was like, yeah, he belongs in that ring.
Yep,
with Cody.
Yeah,
and I just immediately at this point, I say I have my thoughts about him outside of the ring and why he's back. I don't know, but if he's still there, give me Oba and Brock Lesnar before Brock decides to retire.
It's funny you said that. JD Fuhrer put out a video talking about Oba being called on the main roster, and he said that he thinks he's all for Oba versus Brock at Mania to help really push Oba into the stratosphere. What better way to help get him really established on the main roster by beating Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania?
Yeah,
and that match would fucking rock. It's like whatever you think of Brock, personally, he can still go in the ring. So I will not be surprised if we get an interaction between Brock and Oba during the Rumble. And I think Oba's going to get a huge push in the Rumble. He's probably going to eliminate a whole crap ton of people and look like a fucking beast.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing with Brock and when Brock made Keith Lee in that one Rumble, and then he was still in NXT, and then they did Keith Lee with Roman, and then Vince didn't know what the hell to do with him.
Yep. And
obviously, I hope Keith is still doing well. I know I don't think he's ever going to be healthy enough to get back in the ring.
He's never been the same ever since he came down with COVID.
Yeah, his COVID. I think he has long.
COVID really fucked him up health wise, and he's never been the same since.
No, he just really hasn't, which is sad because
he was so fucking awesome.
He was so awesome on that. But that about does it for this our first show of 2026, Justin. But what else do you got for the people at home?
Well, one last thing. They definitely they're going to have to do some more work in the men's division than the women's, because there's still plenty of talented women there, even with the call-ups. They got work to do on the men's side. It's like we like Miles and Tavion, and they got potential, but they're not there yet. They're getting there. Because outside of Ricky and Tony, there's not a lot of people I can see being the champion right now.
Joe Hendry and Ethan, those are other two.
The only other two, but I think Joe and Ethan are not going to be in NXT too much longer. It's like I can see Ricky being there for a little bit longer. Maybe he might call up later this year, because I think they're going to need him to fill that void with Trick and Oba and Javon gone.
I think they're going to give the title to Ricky for a good amount of time.
Yeah,
just because he's already heel.
Mm-hmm.
What I know that's what in the NXT formula is like. Let's see if you can work babyface and heel. I'm like, really?
He's already done it.
you really want Ricky to? Okay, it's like when CM Punk's first run in WWE when they first got there and stuff, and he was kind of getting momentum because the crowd was behind him, and then Vince was like, "Can you work heel? Like, I don't know if you can work heel." And CM Punk was like, kind of got offended. He's like, "Did you not watch me in ROH?
Should Ricky be on the main roster? Yeah, absolutely." But I don't mind him being for NXT for longer, because they definitely will need the help, because otherwise you have a huge fucking black hole in the men's division with Ricky's not there for at least a little while longer, until they build up Miles, Tavion, and a couple others to main event level.
Will this be the year that I finally buy into Josh Briggs? I don't know.
They still see something in him, because it's like he was part of that whole clusterfuck segment as well. It's like so.
Is this going to be the year that I finally buy into Hanging Tank? I almost was with them last year.
I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do to determine the new NXT champion, because with Vengeance Day is coming up next month, so we're definitely going to get something to determine a new champion for Vengeance Day.
One thing I will say, AJ was on Undertaker's podcast, which now I think they sometimes just say things just to get headlines, because apparently, as AJ was saying, they brought up about how good that SummerSlam match, or the one in Perth, was between John Cena and AJ, and how the impromptu thing was. And he said that John Cena got in trouble for bringing up Bullet Club, and I was like, really? John Cena on his retirement, the John Cena, he went to the back. We're like,
I don't know if AJ's exaggerating. I don't think they have a problem with Bullet Club references days. They had fucking Corey Graves give a shout out to Tanahashi's retirement during the tag title match, because Io has a relationship with Tanahashi, and as he mentioned, it's like she helped train her and taught her how to do the sling blade.
And then it was New Japan wanted Nakamura to be Tanahashi's favorite final match. It was supposed to be Tanahashi. They really wanted. I mean, they were supposed to Nakamura be Tanahashi.
Not his final opponent, but it's like from what I've seen, Nakamura wanted to be there, but WWE was like, nah.
Well, they said, here's how petty it got, and here's how stupid some of this, some of the brand wars are, is because AEW has a working relationship with New Japan.
Yeah. That
they were like, and they're like, hey, can I do this? And that's part of why Nakamura wanted his release at first, so he can go to New Japan and kind of, that's where I'm going to end it. And they were like, no. And then he wanted to do the last match with Tanahashi. But because of the working relationship that AEW has, because Will Ospreay and Sling Blade all kind of showed up and gave their tip of the cap.
Which one? Yeah.
And plus,
Kenny Omega, Ospreay, and Jay White were all there.
Yeah, and then obviously Okada was his last match. And that match, by the way, guys, if you haven't watched New Japan ever before and you want to see a really good retirement match, go watch Okada versus Tanahashi. That match was fun.
I saw Io's match against what's her name? It's at Marigold. Holy cow, was that fucking awesome?
Yeah. Like it's just, yeah, but they all, like, every match. You thought AEW's pay-per-views were long. Every match is 45 minutes, and it's like all day.
Yeah, it's like
Wrestle Kingdom
is a really long show.
yeah, it's like, yeah. I was trying to think of a really long video game that takes you forever to finish, but that's kind of how they are.
It's like the WWE was like, no, we don't. It's like, sorry.
But Tanahashi did do this like during the match to kind of give a little tribute to Nakamura. And I wonder how the translation, if they did bring up Tanahashi in that little back and forth with Tama and Nakamura as well. Mm-hmm. Obviously, those two have had history of New Japan, as it were. But I just wanted to bring that up because, there's a thing in the military. It's called Figmo, because my brother was telling me about it. Once he got his orders that he was done, he did his 4 years and he's out. He didn't renew his orders, and it's called Figmo. It's fuck it, I got my orders. So when John Cena basically had them do the Bullet Club, and then AJ was like, "Yeah, I'm in trouble for that." I was like, John Cena's retiring. Plus, John Cena can do no wrong. He's effing John Cena. So I call a big old pile of bullshit on that statement.
They've made the announcers have made multiple Bullet Club references the last few years, especially with Tama and all those guys coming over from New Japan. So I think AJ's exaggerating a little bit.
Yeah, because it's not. And the only time, John Cena, when AJ, their first feud, and Carl, and when they became the club, and John Cena was just like, "And what'd you do? You went and got the Bullet Club." Like, he said it, and I knew Vince was like, "Oh God, that's not our promotion." Yeah. But anyway, we're at that hour 30. Justin, first show 2026, man. We did it. We got through it. Hopefully SmackDown can stay consistent. I doubt it, but there's always hope.
Yep.
Raw, Triple H, take a swing at something.
Right.
Please.
Now, thankfully, we got Matt Cardona, Jordan Grace, and Trick Williams on there, and hopefully more will be added. So that's a good start for the.
And Oba's been advertised for both brands, so it's going to be.
We don't know 100% which show he's going to own up yet. Rumor is Raw.
I think Raw. But Who knows? We shall see. But that about does it for us, guys. Tomorrow, me and Soul will be bringing back the Rev Book Club as we will talk. We will be discussing Stephen King's The Long Walk. Yes, that is the movie that it released last year. 2 good, solid reviews. I have yet to see it. The book itself, tune in tomorrow to get my thoughts on it. It's the first Stephen King book that I've ever read, surprisingly. I'm just not big into horror book stuff. But I do enjoy some of, like, obviously The Shining and It. I do enjoy those movies, but I would rather read something of a Stand By Me, Shawshank Redemption style, which is what this book is more geared towards. That type of book rather than the, killer clown dog car, whatever, on that. And then Tushka and I will be back for Fantasy F Around during the draft in April. Justin will be sweating out the Buffalo Bills versus the Jacksonville Jaguars this weekend. Hopefully Josh Allen can put on the cape because Jacksonville does show a tough matchup. But if anybody can pull it off, it is Josh Allen, because he is the best quarterback in the playoffs, despite Matthew Stafford and Drake May probably fighting for that MVP stuff.
Yeah.
And then on Wednesdays, we have Rev Sports Wrap It Up. And then Justin and I will be back. Obviously, we'll do some bracket bitches throughout because we got a lot of brackets going on. And obviously, me and Justin will be back next Thursday to talk about more wrestling at 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern. So, guys, thank you all so much for joining us. Caden, I hope you feel better. Gift, thanks for stopping in. Like, subscribe, ring the doorbell. It's 2026. It's the 3rd year of our channel. Get us up to 200 subscribers. I'm trying to do that, guys. See you all next time.
Arrivederci.